You stupid fuck!
All right, guys, we are back with another one. The past couple days have been pretty interesting, no? Lots of executive orders, lots of liberals panicking about things. Apparently, Elon's a Nazi now. It's been pretty interesting. I've got an interesting one lined up for you guys today. I'm going to try and make this a little bit quicker than usual because it is already a little bit later than I normally get started. So I'm going to try and get this going. So without wasting any time, let's get into it.
If Kamala Harris didn't put her hand on the Bible when she was being sworn into her inauguration, how would you feel? Because that's what Trump did. Y'all know he didn't put his hand on the Bible. Y'all saw that.
America doesn't care about women. America doesn't care if women die in the streets. America doesn't care about women. And they proved it. They fucking proved it. So this page right here, reproductiverights.gov, that was a website that was put in place under the Biden administration to help women find guidance with birth control, AB rights, how to get an AB, etc. Yeah, that got taken down by the Trump administration today. It's gone. It's gone.
All right, so this is the first of two clips that we're doing with this girl here today. I don't know if you guys have been seeing this with this whole reproductiverights.gov that's been going on for the past, I guess today, maybe. I don't know if this started yesterday. This is complete BS. Trump did not have this site taken down. This was debunked by the older millennial. I don't know if any of you guys follow him. If you don't, you should. Very knowledgeable guy, and he's pretty funny also. He used the Wayback Machine. The last time the site was up was January 15th, when the Biden administration was still running the show. So, sorry, Trump had nothing to do with this. These libtards are either dumb as doornails, as usual, or deceptively lying to get more clicks and views.
Take your fucking meds. They were prescribed to you for a fucking reason.
I am happily every MAGA man's worst nightmare. Like, keep those cowboy hats and those little boots away from me, baby boy. I don't want to be a part of it. Like, I'm divorced, I'm a liberal, I don't go to church, I don't cook. I'm a nurse who believes in vaccination and modern medicine. Like, you don't... Like, keep that yeehaw away from me.
It's not just the next 4 years. I keep hearing that. Oh, try to find a way to be happy over the next 4 years. You'll get through the next 4 years. It's not about the next 4 years. Does everybody know what Germany is really known for? And listen, Germans, I am sorry. I know that's not you. I know you didn't do that. I get it. But let's keep it real. That is a stain on the history of Germany. No one's ever going to forget that. This is our entire future. This is going to it's going to take decades to recover from this, if not longer, if we ever recover from this, because apparently we're never having elections again. Those are his words. Those are not my words. So, no, I don't feel bad about being, in full panic and disgust over this. Don't let anybody gaslight you and tell you it's just the next 4 years. No, the fuck it's not. We have an oligarchy now. Do you think Elon Musk is going to give up his fucking money within the next 4 years? Come on. And I'm curious to hear from Germans, from historians, how did they recover from that? How did you recover from that?
Now, I'm sure you guys have noticed, anybody who's on online media quite often, since Biden's, as the left calls it, very powerful and emotional goodbye address, have you guys noticed oligarchy, how that's everywhere all of a sudden? Like, this is their new favorite word this week. It was weird one week. Now, this week it's oligarchy. Everybody's an oligarch. Anybody who has anything to do with Trump's an oligarch. Oh my gosh. And again, Germany, going with the whole Nazi comparison. It's absolutely ridiculous. What I'd like to really know is decades to recover from what? Stating that, does she think the rest of the world is like thinking, oh my gosh, the states are tainted now because Trump's back in power? I think the rest of the world, majority of it, there are some countries that possibly, or some leaders that didn't want Trump back in power because he gives them a harder time, but it's going to bring order back to the world. This is what libtards like this don't really seem to realize. And then she's stating, no more elections. That's his own words. That's, again, complete BS. So this is another liberal that's either really lacking intelligence, or she is, again, gaslighting and deceptively lying to everybody. So it seems like it's not just MSNBC and CNN, it's the citizens. They do it to each other. What Trump said, he was at an evangelical convention, and he stated straight to them, evangelicals are not known to vote. Come vote this time, you'll never have to vote again. I think it's pretty easy to understand what he was saying there. He wasn't saying, hey, this is going to be the last election and, I'm taking over forever. I don't know if many of you guys have noticed, but her username on TikTok is trans loving mama. So it makes me question, if you call yourself a trans loving mama, I picture, this is again just assumption, but I picture a younger child, and perhaps she had a son that she's happy now wants to identify as a daughter, because maybe she never got that daughter she always wanted, so she's grooming her own kid. Again, just my speculation, but you never know.
Being a corporate worker at a big tech company is watching the person you technically work for parade around as an official oligarch at the inauguration yesterday, and then still have to wake up and go make that person mature today.
There is no such thing as someone being illegal. This is all land that belongs to everybody. Borders are made up. They're made up. There's no such thing as someone who is on illegal land. There's no such thing as illegals. All of that bullshit was made up by racists.
Okay, so last night I came across this clip on Snowdub's channel, and I had to use this clip myself as well. This chick is dumb as doornails. But first of all, you guys are Snowdub fans, let me know in the comments below. I like Snowdub a lot. I think he's cool. I think he's original. Well, jolly, Snowdub's hand is up his ass. I really get a kick out of his jokes, and just show him some love in the comments below. Now, no borders. Borders aren't real. I guess it's one of those things where it's like her truth. She doesn't think borders are a good thing. So no, you know what? Borders are just a pretend thing. They don't actually exist. There is borders all around the world. I mean, I'm not explaining this to you guys, but for dum-dums like this girl here, there's a few countries that don't have borders. Iceland, Australia, Japan, because there's water around them. So their border would be the ocean. Borders created by racist people. That's what got me. It's like, first of all, your statement is already dumb, and then and created by racist people. Africa's got borders. We're just going to leave that one there.
How does one get over their family voting for Trump? Because it has been all that I've been able to think about, and it's heartbreaking knowing that me and my sister don't talk. We're not going to talk, and I can't fucking stand her, and I can't fucking stand her husband.
No, we can no longer agree to disagree. Abortion is healthcare, and it saves lives. Trans rights are human rights. Critical race theory and Black history need to be taught in schools. I will not apologize for protecting my patients. Deep breaths. Let's stand strong. We got this today, okay?
I just don't get how you now see Elon Musk do that. And I've seen people comment like, yeah, I voted that way. And I'm disgusted by that. And I'm horrified and alarmed and shocked. And it's just like, we were saying this. We said all this. And there was evidence before of this. It took that for you to... I'm sorry. Like, I'm glad to see that people are saying that. It's a little reassuring. But it's too little too late. And the signs were there. And we were saying it. Like... What do you mean? What do you mean? We said all of this before. It took him blatantly heiling Hitler. I don't know if that's something to admit. I don't know. I'm kind of torn on if I should say this because I want people to admit that, but also, like, you're kind of admitting that you're, like, really, really stupid. Like, I don't know.
All right, so this Elon Musk Hitler salute situation there, it's been all over the internet. It's been one day and I'm already fed up of seeing it. It's pretty crazy. These people know it wasn't a Hitler salute, and if they don't, again, dumb as doornails. They are, again, just like the media, just like MSNBC, just like CNN. It's like having your very own Joy Reid at home. They know that they're lying through their teeth. They can see the whole clip. PBS, who's a very leftist company, they played the entire clip, even with him saying, "My heart goes out to you." Yet they still wanted to call it like an authoritarian salute. Absolutely ridiculous. Elon is known. He's got not just Asperger's, he's got like hyper Asperger's. I mean, the guy is a genius in some fields, well, a lot of fields, but he's very socially awkward. You can see it when he's at a microphone. He's stuttering away and he gets lost in words. He seems to feel uncomfortable and he gets awkward when he's in crowds like that. And he got excited. He didn't mean to do a Hitler salute. So that's absolute nonsense. But these guys are just trying to roll with it and play with it. And oh my gosh. And glad to hear, she said, I'm glad to hear them all saying it now. Like, what I think she's trying to, you know, kind of like how they're saying, oh, all these videos of Trump supporters and I'm seeing saying they want to reverse their vote and they regret their vote. Yet we've never seen one. The only thing we see is liberals reacting on a computer. Like we're supposed to believe what they're watching, that they're watching a video of a Trump supporter that wants to reverse his vote. But what I think that she's doing here is trying to give us the impression that there's people that are on the right that are like, oh, wow, Elon did that? I'm so disappointed. No, it's just her own people that are obviously happy and talking about this and spreading what they call misinformation once again. Anybody that thinks Elon Musk did an intentional Nazi salute or even an unintentional one, like, oop, he slipped up and showed his true colors. Anybody who thinks that is a blithering idiot. Just plain and simple. Let's move on. I'm not going to be touching this again.
Can somebody tell me why MAGA keeps calling Trump daddy? Like, that's weird. I think the call's coming from inside the house, guys.
It's a very scary day. It's a very sad day. I've been dreading this day for many months now. Please hug your children extra tight today, especially your daughters. Hug your daughters extra tight today. Tell them how much you love them and how important they are and valued they are and cared about. This new administration, it's really scary to think about all of the things they're going to try to do and how it's going to impact our children and our children's futures. And it's just feeling really heavy today. So anyone who voted for the big orange clown, shame on you, and you'll see what you voted for, and I hope it haunts you for the rest of your life.
My ex and the president have a lot in common. So much has happened over the past few days. The TikTok ban and the inauguration. I've been taking some time to process why, for me personally, it has been feeling extra triggering, and then it clicked. It feels like control. It feels like manipulation, none of which feels like freedom. My ex was a master manipulator. Master manipulators create terrible circumstances so that they can swoop in and be the hero. Trump creating a terrible circumstance like the TikTok ban so that he could swoop in and save the day before inauguration. It was a lot like my ex creating terrible circumstances when we broke up, threatening revenge porn, threatening me with a lawsuit, trying to turn my friends and family against me, also that he could swoop in and save the day by saying, I can make this all go away. Let's just talk. We belong together. The scariest part? This isn't just about TikTok. This is about the way he governs as a whole. He did it with immigration, telling stories about how illegal aliens are eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, so that he could swoop in and be the hero by declaring a national emergency, when really it's just racism, dehumanizing an entire group of people to get rid of them. Same thing with the queer and trans community. They're groomers, they're going after your children, they're corrupting women's sports, all so that he can swoop in and save the day by making it official US policy that there are only 2 genders, and now pedophilia is a crime punishable by death. Who have they strategically been calling pedophiles for the last 8 years? Queers, trans people, drag queens. I'm pretty sure they didn't make that law to go after priests, pastors, Sunday school teachers who have actually been getting away with pedophilia for years. Something I personally was subject to. Listen, it's okay to be sad, it's okay to be mad. I personally had a little cry in the grocery store earlier. In Kamala Harris's concession speech, she said, "When we fight, we win. Sometimes the fight takes a while, but that doesn't mean we won't win. So we will keep fighting. But today I'm gonna cry, and that's okay. You're not alone. We're gonna get through this. Thanks for watching. I love you."
All right, this clip is fresh off the press. She just uploaded this today. Trump has been inaugurated and he's president. He's sitting president now, and they're still spewing the words, what Kamala Harris said, "When we fight, we win." She's still holding on to hope that they're going to win, but what are they trying to win? Some of these people still think that Trump is going to be taken out of office, and, well, don't hold your breath. Now, she had a lot to say. I had to actually jot down notes on this one. She just had too much to say. She was a complete motor mouth and spewed out a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm just going to touch on them real quick. The TikTok ban. Now, yes, Trump in 2019, he was for a TikTok ban. Obviously, his views on it changed. He's seen how beneficial it was, and I think he kind of used common sense, like what I was stating a video or two ago. That, I mean, if you're going to ban TikTok, then you got to ban all the Chinese apps because they're all collecting your personal data anyways. So it wouldn't really make much sense. So Trump turning around his views on that is no real big surprise. Now, let's go back in time a little bit. The left, the Democrats, were completely opposed to banning TikTok until they seen that it was starting to benefit Trump and benefit the right. And before you know it, it got pushed through and approved by Senate, which, no surprise. Anything that Chuck Schumer gets on his desk that will benefit the Democrats gets reviewed real fast. What else did she say here? Oh, eating the dogs, eating the cats. We're past this now, but this was, obviously pretty big news when it happened. When the Springfield, Ohio stories came out, there was a lot of clips of the residents testifying what they've seen with their own eyes. And there was one that I remember very clearly of a young girl stating that I think it was her cat or her friend's cat was missing. And they ended up seeing the cat hanging from a tree and being carved in somebody's front yard, like right out in the blatant open. So there was a lot of residences that were stating that their pets were gone missing, and several occasions where Haitian migrants were spotted walking out of the public parks with the geese. Sure, nobody owns the geese, but they're still part of that. That's not how we do things down here, man. Like, you don't come down to the public park and start hunting pigeons. That's not how it works. That's a little uncivilized. She also jumped in stating that Trump was giving everybody the impression and trying to brainwash them that the LGBTQ community is grooming kids and problems with men playing in women's sports and so on and so on. Now, I'm not going to state that the LGBTQ community is bad. No, there's obviously some decent people in that community, but the problem is there's some real bad people in that community that screwed it up for all of them. I mean, 10 years ago, obviously there was people that had these type of feelings that these trans people have nowadays, but were we so aware of them? And it's not because we were shunning them out of the world. They were still citizens of society. But once the Biden administration took power, once the Trudeau administration started to show its true colors a few years ago, out in the United Kingdom with their far left government, they really started to push this trans agenda, pandering to them. I guess, probably for voting purposes or whatnot, but they stepped too far. And sorry, I don't care if a man identifies as a woman and feels feminine. You don't belong in women's sports. Chances are you know, what they say. They find your body in 200 years, they can still identify that you were a man. Chances are you're going to be a woman and 60 years old and you're going to be going bald. You're a man's a man, a woman's a woman. So Trump making it official that there is only two genders, yeah, that's common sense. It doesn't mean that trans people can't still live and do their thing, but sorry, your driver's license just won't say an F on it if you're a male. It's not that bad.
I know how I know it wasn't a Roman salute? Because none of us have ever fucking heard of that before today. That's not a Roman salute. That means one thing. This is the same exact energy as when people are like, well, swastikas were actually like a really important symbol in Hinduism before. So actually, like, they have different meanings. No, it doesn't. The only reason people know that motion is because it's one kind of salute, and that's not a Roman salute.
Why are y'all so fucking weird? This is so fucking weird. Never once did any of us ever say, oh, Joe Biden's your daddy now. That's so fucking gross and weird. You're just weird. Ah!
All right, so here I am. This is going to be my account where I'm going to dedicate some time to just talk about the issues that we see in the world, talk about politics, talk about women's rights, talk about minority rights, because I need to have a voice and speak up no matter how scared I am, and I am scared. And I don't think that the people that really do this and they bring these things up online are really talking about how scary it is. Like, do you know how much hate we get? I've done it before, and there's a lot of hate. Not to mention that when we are a threat for a dictatorship, quite possibly, and I'm not American, just FYI, if you're seeing this, I'm Canadian, but we are having our own election next year, and we could end up in the very same spot because this right-wing movement is happening all around the world. But knowing that and still choosing to speak out is very scary. I come from an Eastern European country. I moved here when I was 10, and in my family's history, we were under dictatorship, and people could not speak freely about the government. They literally had to go hide to be able to speak about it because your neighbor could tattletale on you and you could end up in jail just for disagreeing with the government. That's what a dictatorship is. That's what authoritarian government is, okay? And it is on our doorstep. Trump won the election in the United States last night. This is on our doorstep. It is here. It is time to do something. And so, as scared as I am for my life, I need to speak out. And I'm the perfect person to do it. I don't have children. If anything, you know, and I'm the only child, so if anything bad happens to me because I chose to speak out, then at least I'm not leaving children behind without a mother. So, there's that. Hopefully that'll never happen, but you never know. History tells a very different story. The women that fought for women's rights, do you know how many of them died to get us those rights? A lot. So, here's to hoping that this goes well. And we'll chat soon.
All right. Here's the second clip of this girl here. Like me, she's Canadian. Like I said a few videos ago, we got libtards out here as well. This girl, twice now, in two separate videos, and I've seen a couple of her videos, she is either, as I said before, lacking intelligence and just falls for everything without doing research, or she is deceptive to her audience to get clicks and views. She goes by the name on TikTok as I wrote it down here, the Frontline Feminist. Doesn't seem surprising after you watch her that that's her name. Talking about a dictatorship in Canada next year. I don't know if you guys have seen Pierre Poilievre. He's kind of like Canada's version of Trump. Trump's a little bit more badass, but he's pretty up there. Poilievre's pretty awesome. Poilievre's not going to run no dictatorship. I'm pretty sure that Trudeau already tried that. I mean, again, I've brought up the trucker convoy, the Freedom Convoy. What Trudeau did with that, he did not come out and face them. These people just wanted to have all these COVID restrictions lifted because they were actually pretty pointless. He wouldn't even give them the time of day. And it was a pretty, despite what they tell you, because there is actual footage that was on TikTok about it, despite what they tell you, it was a pretty peaceful protest. I mean, they were out there for a while. Yeah, they were blocking some streets. They did make a big mistake trying to block up that bridge going into Michigan, though. That was taking a little step too far. But that's what Trudeau uses as his excuse to enable the Emergencies Act. And then pretty much all for a few days turned Ottawa into a police state. And then started freezing people's bank accounts. So say, for instance, if I donated $20 towards their fund and I stayed here, I didn't go there, I stayed here, my bank account all of a sudden is frozen. So this girl stating that her family originates from a dictatorship country, she doesn't seem to be able to recognize a dictatorship when it's right in front of her face. So this is one of those idiots that keeps Trudeau in power. I'll state it again directly to this young lady. You're a blithering idiot, or you're extremely deceptive. But the fact, if you're a Trudeau voter, no, you're a blithering idiot. Plain and simple. Enough of you. Move on. I did have one more thing to say about this young lady. When she was talking about how many women died to get the women's rights. And she said a lot. I was researching that online today, and I could find zero evidence that any women died trying to get their rights. So if somebody can please correct me on that, if I'm incorrect, as I don't really have the knowledge of it. But as of right now, while I'm filming this video, again, it just looks like she's full of it. All right, guys, as usual, I do have one more lined up for you guys. Like, comment, subscribe if you guys are new, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
These were fathers and uncles and grandfathers and brothers and cousins and coworkers and lawyers and doctors who voted against the women of this country. And that is the most disappointing part of it all. It's not just women's rights that are being taken away. It's not even just minorities' rights that are being taken away. The entire state of the country will change. And I don't understand how you don't understand how absolutely destructive that will be. Your child will not have rights. Your parents will not have rights. Your best friend, your girlfriend will not have rights. I want that to really fucking sink in with every single one of you.